The Golden Knights slump continues as VGK's scoring drought cost them once again in last night's 2-1 overtime defeat on the road at Calgary. More after this.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hi again, everyone. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. Find our show wherever you get your podcast, and please subscribe to the YouTube channel Locked On Golden Knights. We are brought to you today by FanDuel, and right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's right. Go to FanDuel.com/LockedOn and kick off this NFL season. So, Chris, tell me that you're finally of the realization that this is officially a Vegas Golden Knights slump. Now, if it weren't a drought, right, then we wouldn't see Bruce Cassidy. He wouldn't be toying with his line combinations, a 2-1 overtime loss in Calgary last night. A lot of grade A chances once again, a ton. Cassidy said Jack Eichel had the breakaway shorthanded. He had a 2-on-1. Nick Waugh couldn't finish. And in the end, one VGK goal. And Cassidy said it's hard to win scoring just one goal. And his team is proving just that. Officially a slump?
He even said it with kind of a smile. No, it's not a slump. It is a scoring drought.
It's not a slump.
It's a scoring drought. The team is losing 2-1, 2-0, stuff like that. If the Golden Knights were losing 4-1, 5-1, 3-1 every single night in all these, then yeah, I mean, then I'd be concerned. But the goaltending has been excellent. Even with Adin Hill giving up a rough game-winning goal, the goaltending's been excellent. The defense has been very good, despite being down 1/3 of the defensemen again. Shea Theodore's really missed right now as far as puck movement. Alec Martinez has really missed as far as the breakouts and obviously their defensive ability. So if the Golden Knights lose 5-1 tonight against the Oilers, then yes, there's a problem. If they lose 4-1 Thursday against the Vancouver Canucks, then yeah, we can definitely go from scoring drought to slump. But as long as the defense is performing and the special teams is performing, it's not a slump. It is not a slump. And, you know, it's like I want to be angry right now. Like I wanted to put a bag over my head to start the show today to be funny. I wanted to, you know, like, but I'm not upset about it. I mean, it sucks. Don't get me wrong. You want the team to win, but they're close right now. I think they're close to, you know, getting those couple of goals that they need. I mean, the biggest concern right now, there's a few, but the biggest concern is 4 games without a 5-on-5 goal. That's a problem. And then you mentioned the lines, Tony. That's why the lines are being moved. And if we're going to talk about lines, I think Chandler Stevenson on the wing is not the answer. Chandler Stevenson, I don't think plays well as a winger, and he's not playing well, period. I mean, it's 14 games on a point or something, 13, whatever the number is. It's getting up there right now. He had some chances. He had some looks yesterday, just fanned on a one-timer, and, you know, sometimes looks like he's kind of coasting out there. And don't confuse that with lack of effort. I just think he's lost right now. He is snake bitten. Chandler Stevenson is snake bitten and needs to find his game.
Okay, and Cassidy did not. He fell short of calling this a funk for VGK, so maybe they're not into.
It's not that bad.
It is that bad. If they're losing games, it doesn't matter if they're losing 2-1, 3-2, 2-0, shut out. Now, three
it's
times.
November and December, though. It's November and December.
All right. And I know a lot of teams around the NHL are starting to struggle. And yes, a lot of teams are concerned. However, for VGK, this is not characteristic of the way that this team plays. Game-winning goal, 5 seconds left in overtime. That's a tough goal to give up. Mackenzie Weegar, was he offsides?
No, I mean, they stayed and watched. I think the bigger concern there isn't about offside as much as it is about Alex Pietrangelo getting interfered with on that. No ref is calling it in that circumstance, and we're not going to sit here and say that's what cost the Golden Knights the game, but that could have been called interference, and I don't think anyone outside of Gary would have been overly upset by it. But still, who cares? I mean, listen, Aiden Hill had plenty of time to react to that puck. He just missed it. So that's on Aiden, unfortunately. The defense forced the shot outside. It was a low percentage shot. And, Aiden Hill gets a mulligan. He's played really well.
Yeah, for sure. And Dan Vladar, right, was the starting goaltender.
Who?
What'd I say? What's his first name?
No. I'm agreeing with you. He's unknown. Like, who is he?
Oh, okay. I thought I screwed up his name like everyone else's name on this show because I don't prepare. He stopped 27 shots last night. Wasn't even supposed to be the starting goaltender, but Jacob Markstrom came up ill, and they had an e-bug also, some guy off the street. I don't even know. And so, and the VGK made some runs at Vladar last night early. They did, right? They were trying to get him out of the game, so Markstrom didn't even play.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I mean, that'd be some what's the word I'm looking for? Some bush league stuff right there. But I mean, Carrier, yeah, he just lost track of where he was. He wasn't really pushed in or anything. And then Mark Stone kind of dumped the defenseman a little bit, and then one of his own players knocked his helmet off. I mean, it was special team stats. I was looking up while you were setting the table there. Golden Knights are 6th in the penalty kill and 11th on the power play right now. 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, they're 11th on the power play right now, which both of those I think are significantly better than where they were this time last year. So I don't know.
Are the VGK playing down to the level of their competition? Because they've played well against like the likes of Dallas and such. One of the fans brought this up last night. I thought it was a valid point because they've done that in the past, and they did that last year.
Are the other teams playing up to the competition is also a fair question. Not an excuse, a circumstance. There you go. Not an excuse, but a circumstance that the Golden Knights, they won the Stanley Cup last year. Every time they go into another barn, they go in as champions, and every team for 82 games is going to measure themselves against the Stanley Cup champion. And the Golden Knights, this is right about when it started last year, folks. I got to do a side by side. I got some time today, so maybe I'll put some on Vegas Hockey Now, and I'll put some stats on the Locked On page. But this is right about when things went south for the team for a minute there. They, were the Golden Knights didn't lead the division a whole lot last year. I think until early on and then down the stretch. But in the middle third of the season, things definitely slipped. That's when Daniel Negreanu, famous poker player, was willing to take action at 7-1 that the Golden Knights would not even make the playoffs. So, it's hard to keep the pedal to the metal for 82 games. Maybe this is the Stanley Cup hangover kicking in now. Maybe this is the tax of a short summer kicking in. It's a lot of things right now, but there's positives. Like, as I'll say it again, I wanted to be angry. I did. I wanted to be angry, but things are not like they're close. If they just can find 2 5-on-5 goals a game, we're talking in a much different vibe right now, Tony.
Skills practice, I guess, didn't come into play. Didn't really help them a ton. Again, still just not scoring goals. End of story. I don't care if they're missing on
the skills help puck management side and stuff, but yeah, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, for sure. I had to get that in there. Frustration perhaps setting in. What were the line combinations last night in this contest?
Hey, they were close. They were in the ballpark of what I had suggested. So
there's no panic. No, everything's fine. It's all good.
When you put the lines in a blender, there's concern. There's definitely concern on the scoring side. It didn't cause issues on the defensive side, though. That's important.
Right. That's all right. Good point.
As far as the lines, 2 things happened that I wanted to. I wanted to see Eichel and Stone together. That happened. And then Stevenson, I think, was a non-starter in that circumstance. The other thing I wanted to see was Carlson and Marchessault together. That happened. Third line, Nick Waugh got moved up. Brett Howden centered the fourth line, which the fourth line had some really good rushes. They were applying pressure, and then that led to Ryan, the hockey guy, pointed this out, applying some good pressure right after the Golden Knights' first power play goal. And then they created another power play situation by applying pressure and forcing the Calgary Flames defenseman to get the puck over the glass and get the Golden Knights another power play. Cassidy postgame, he listed all the grade A's that were missed. And when he's going right down the line like this, that's a concern. Jack Eichel, another friggin', it's friggin' now.
Yeah.
Another friggin' shorthanded breakaway.
Breakaway.
He always tries to go 5-hole on it too. I think he might need to rethink that. Nick Waugh hits the post and gets in on a 2-on-1. Eichel can't convert a 2-on-1. Barbashev had a chance to erase everything, at least temporarily, I said negative about him. If he could have converted on that breakaway. He actually made a really good shot. When you watched the north-south camera angle that was behind Vladar, he made a really good shot. Vladar made a save and just beat him really fast. Here is the concerning factor. Here's the one thing I will say is a concern. Dan Vladar is now up to his save percentage went, I think, from an 8.6 something to 8.83. Okay.
That's awesome.
His goals against went down to 3.2. The Golden Knights couldn't beat Dan Vladar. That's a concern. And I mean, the grade A's were there, but I didn't feel like he was under siege at all, Tony. Did you?
No, not at all. But
there were chances, but not a lot of sustained pressure. There you go.
As you mentioned, 4 games without a 5v5 goal for the Vegas Golden Knights, and that was their forte. Coming up next, VGK travels to Edmonton tonight to renew this rivalry with the Oilers. We preview that next, right here on Locked On Golden Knights. You know, folks, we spend a lot of time together, you and I, and we get fired up together with wins and losses and scoring funks and slumps. And then, you know, we talk about who starts, who sits often here on this show. But we are thankful for that connection that we all have here. And today we want to chat about something a little bit more personal. So we just learned that you can get a 1-year supply of ED medications. You realize what that means? It means that bring on the extended travel, bring on the next natural disaster or supply chain issues. You are covered, our friends, and you don't have to worry about whether or not you can refill your generics for Cialis, for Viagra, and your prescriptions. And this is made possible, of course, because of our friends at Jase Medical. So go online right now and go to jasemedical.com and you receive your 12-month supply on your daily medication. Remember to use the promo code LOCKEDON at checkout for a discount as well. And there are a lot of good customer testimonials. Prices are lower than local pharmacies, and it is highly recommended for everyone. So if you or someone you love would like to get some peace of mind by having a year's supply of any daily med, go to jasemedical.com and you can see if it's offered for you. Remember to use the promo code Locked On for $20 off of your first purchase. Welcome back. Locked On Golden Knights, Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thank you so much for making us your first listen. We appreciate it. And of course, make sure on Fridays to chime in on WTF, What the Fridays, Saturdays reserved for the YouTube exclusive with Chris times Chris. You don't want to miss that show. And so you didn't even notice the hat, did you? No?
Krill?
Yeah. This is the new women's professional volleyball league team.
Oh, okay.
So it was announced yesterday at the Dollar Loan Center. Yeah, with a lot of good friends.
Where are they playing at Dollar Loan Center?
They'll be playing at Dollar Loan Center. They start on February the 15th. And they are in conjunction with the Vegas Golden Knights organization. With that organization, they have a partnership. And so Eric Tosi was there from VGK yesterday, and he was up there at the podium. A lot of dignitaries, mayor from Henderson and everything. And yeah, it's a new women's professional volleyball team. So it's going to be cool.
No, that sounds awesome. I think it's great. I wonder, as far as the draw and everything, the fact that they're putting them in the Dollar Loan Center says there's going to be interest there. It says they're going to draw enough people to rent out that building for a night, which probably ain't cheap. I mean, they're not doing it at the Orleans or somewhere else where it probably could have been a little less. So great. This is good. Volleyball is great. That was one of the few sports I actually played outside of hockey and soccer growing up.
Oh, yeah. Do you think they'll allow fighting, like they do in all the other sports that play in there? So, It's on the
Reference
dollar.
to the line
No, it's great.
brawls at the Silver Knights game on Sunday.
Yeah, for sure. But good luck to them. No, I think it's if yesterday's opening presser was any indicator, it was packed there. A ton of people, and they had a nice little after party. I got my free hat and I left. No, I
Where's
hung
my
out
hat,
for a
man?
long
Come on,
time.
sure got two hats. Sure got two hats. Come on,
I
Tony.
know you like
What are
that,
you doing,
huh?
man?
The thrill, the Vegas
I'll take
thrill,
it.
coming soon. Coming
I think
soon.
it's great. I think it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we know who the spokesman can be if they want to get Kessel back, but we'll see if they can work that out.
So VGK could be playing this Edmonton Oilers team, Chris, at the wrong time. Connor McDavid is on a heater. He's on a heater. He 12 points, 4 games, the number 1 star for the National Hockey League. And he comes off of that 5-point performance in the 8-2 trouncing of the Anaheim Ducks the other night. Edmonton has now won 2 straight. They also beat the Capitals. In the stretch of playing 8 of the next 9 or somewhere thereabouts, I think it's 8 of 9. They could, if they wanted, if they're going to jump back right into this race in the Pacific Division, now has to be the time for them to really step things up. So you still think that they're a playoff team? I don't. I think there's going to be, could be a good slump buster for the VGK. They could break out of the slump tonight in scoring because they could probably score 8 or 9 in this game. But what are your thoughts on the coaching change? Chris Knobloch, not Chuck Knobloch, the new head coach there, and Jay Woodcroft. We didn't like that guy. We didn't think he was a good coach.
He's not a good coach. He's not a good coach.
No, he's not a good coach. So what are your thoughts?
I mean, I don't know. I'm looking at the game logs right now, and going back to November 15th, 7 goals, 10 goals, 8 goals, 9 goals, defeat the Capitals 5-0, and then 10 goals in the Anaheim game. Those are the total number of goals in each of the games. The sports books don't care about the Golden Knights slump because there's a 6.5 out there. Golden Knights come in at about plus 120, which is interesting. Like, it's, I don't know, you got two things pushing against each other. The Golden Knights can't score. The sports books don't care. The Oilers have 7 wins, and the Golden Knights are significantly better than that and come in as an underdog. So just a lot of strange things as far as from a handicapping perspective. I don't have a good vibe or a good read.
You're not factoring in the back-to-back?
I guess. I mean, but the back-to-back honestly couldn't come at a better time after last night and the way things are going. See what the lines are going to be. I don't know. I mean, it's a weird game. It's a weird spot. The rivalry, I think, is what will fuel the Golden Knights to have a better game and not to overthink. I mean, listen, they're going to be looking over their shoulder this whole game. Cassidy, I'm sure, in his pregame remarks, you're going to hear a comment, okay, this is we're coming back to the building where we ended a team season. They're going to be ready. You're going to see that animosity. You're going to see a lot of after the whistle stuff. You're going to see Colasar involved and Carrier involved and hopefully Barbashev involved. And it's going to be a fun game. It'll be entertaining. Is it going to be entertaining as far as a result goes for the Golden Knights and maybe getting 3 or 4 goals on the board? God, I mean, we're talking about hoping they get 3 or 4 goals on the board instead of, how are they going to get 3 or 4 goals on the board? And on the Edmonton side, I just looked at the points. I mean, as bad as things were, Dreisaitl's got 28 points in 20 games.
What about
David, 25 and 18.
25 and 18. Did you see Zach Hyman now? 12 goals. And even your Evander Kane, that guy, has 10 goals.
Evander Kane isn't a bad player. He's just an idiot when it comes to everything else that he does out there. Hope I can say that, but I did. And Nugent
Why
Hopkins,
you be able
18.
to say that?
Nugent Hop. I mean, listen, I mentioned Pietrangelo teabagged the blue line last week. I didn't get in trouble for that one, so let's keep pushing the issue, right? So, I mean, there's top end scoring, but this is the standard Edmonton Oilers team, right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players with 18 points or more, and then it starts with Matthias Ekholm and goes down 8 points or less for the rest of the lineup. So they have 182 points here. Let's see really fast if I can figure this out. 53, 75, 95, 114, 1. So 132 of the 152 points is of 6 players. So 1/3, here we go. 1/3 of the Oilers' scoring output 2/3 of the scoring output comes from 1/3 of the team. There you go. So that right there says this is still the Oilers of old. They haven't fixed their depth issues. If McDavid and Draisaitl, I guess now we can put Hyman in that same category, aren't getting it done, they're going to lose. It's that simple. It's going to be high events hockey, I think. Whether it's high events scoring, I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but it's going to be high event hockey. I'll look at the goalies really fast. Baby.
Skinner gave up 2 really bad goals against
I mean,
it.
so
He only
so
gave up
that's
2 to the Ducks, but those are really bad ones.
maybe they'll go Calvin Pickard in the revenge game, but it's probably Skinner 6-7-1-3.
They've had some time off. They played a couple of nights ago. So
Yeah, so it's going to be Skinner. He's a 3.28 goals against, 8.77 save percentage. So we're going to call him Stuart
VGK.
Waugh. Yeah, he's going to be Stuart Waugh by the second period, definitely. Stuart Hotchik.
And also, Leon Draisaitl is starting to pick up his game. 3 goals over the last.
He'll get a
2
misconduct
games.
and do something stupid, so that's fine. Don't worry. We got him covered. Don't worry.
Okay, you said the word misconduct. So, Florida, Ottawa.
Oh
brother,
my God!
Brother versus brother crime.
Call. What a call!
That was the funniest thing I've ever seen. So, game misconduct. Did you see Paul Maurice counting like he's got like 5 players left on the bench? There's no one.
I
left.
didn't see that part, but
it was pretty funny. He's going down the line, going, okay, "Oh my goodness, who are we going to play out there?"
So we both reposted this. This was absolutely amazing. It's on my handle and Tony's handle. Might even be on Locked On. If not, we'll tag Locked On. But the ref, first of all, he's calling the penalties that matter, the roughings and stuff like that. So let's just to recreate this: 57 2-minute for rough, 14 2 minutes for rough, 13 6 minutes for 2 minutes for roughing. Everyone on the ice also has a 10-minute misconduct. Oh my God, that was right up there with the college football unnecessary roughness penalty because he was giving them the business. Like it was right there. It was right there with.
It was pretty funny.
It was that good.
Have you ever seen that? I've never seen everyone on the ice getting a game misconduct.
Well, it wasn't a game. It was technically a 10-minute misconduct. So what the NHL does, if the game is out of hand with about 10 minutes or so less, definitely 5 minutes, but about 10 minutes or so less, the refs are told just to start handing out 10-minute misconducts to keep the players off the ice that are really, causing trouble out there. And that's what happened. And even had Brady Tkachuk and Matt Tkachuk chirping each other, which I thought was fun. And Grandma Tkachuk was in the building. They keyed in on her on one of the broadcasts, and she just has like her head buried, like, here they go again. She knew what was coming.
Oh, that's funny. Coming up next, we will have our locks of the night, our predictions against Edmonton. Stay with us. Right after this, we'll resume right here on Locked On Golden Knights. You can score right now and throughout this NFL season with FanDuel. It's America's #1 sportsbook. And right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. And if you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get into the action. The app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, including point spreads, player props, totals, and much, much more. And of course, we'll be watching throughout the day that VGK versus Edmonton line. So visit FanDuel today /LockedOn and kick off this NFL season. FanDuel, the official partner of the National Football League. Welcome back, Locked On Golden Knights. Tony Cardasco, Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen each and every day. We appreciate you doing so. Find us wherever you get your podcast. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is Locked On Golden Knights. And so yesterday, we didn't point out that Martinez and Theodore were out of the lineup. We didn't say specifically that they were missing, so they're not even on this trip, right?
That's a fair question. So the comment from Cassidy was Martinez is 7 to 10 days, which I'll take the over when that happens.
What is it? What type of injury do we know? Lower body?
I got
too many welts on his body. They should just say too many welts on it throughout his body.
It could definitely be. It could be a new category. Shea Theodore, the comment was he would be reevaluated before the road trip. And then hours later, Caden Korzak was called up. So that tells you all you need to know right there. So I mean, both of them, based off of, if we're going to put the pieces of the puzzle together, are probably in that 7 to 10 day category. But a lot of times the Golden Knights, that is, are saying, okay, well, we're labeling them as day to day and we'll see what happens from there. So, I mean, I hope it's only 7 to 10 days. The team desperately misses both of them right now, especially Shea Theodore. And not a knock on Alec Martinez, but the team is doing fine defensively. What they're losing the offensive rush of Shea Theodore and his power play ability too.
Okay. Let's do our locks of the night and our
Just me and you today. Just me and you. The kids are playing video games or something. They're sitting out today. We'll get them later.
Wow. Okay. With this big game, we're missing little Chris. Yeah. Okay. I thought last night's game would be a high scoring affair. I thought that there would be a split in the back to back. But I'm going to go VGK. One of the things that they are doing currently is perhaps overpassing the puck at times, trying to be too showy. I'm not quite sure what they're doing at times.
They should be getting 40 shots a game, and I don't care if it's the Pete DeBoer getting the goalie's crest dirty. Shoot everything. Shoot from the red line. Shoot from the defensive blue line. Shoot from the center face-off circle. Just shoot everything right now. Just shoot it all.
You will never see VGK with everyone getting a game misconduct. They're too prissy, man. They're still kind of soft. They really are, in my estimation. You'd never see that. You would never, come on, don't even go there. In any event, tonight, 5-4 Edmonton. I'm going to go with
4 goals, Golden Knights. That's good. That's a moral victory.
Of course. I'm going to go Jack Eichel and Carrier. I'll go William Carrier on the night. We didn't even mention that VGK had a 6-on-3 at the end of the game the other night and couldn't capitalize. They didn't have a ton of time. It was a 6-on-3, Chris. I mean, you need like 2 seconds to score a goal.
They had chances, but definitely not the right chances. Yeah, no, it's when it's all going bad, it's all going bad. So, all right.
But they're not in a slump. They're not in a slump.
So if the Golden Knights are going to score, it's going to be William Karlsson on the power play, and it's going to be Jack Eichel shorthanded. But I think it's going to be a 0-0 game heading to the shootout, and then the Oilers win 1-0 on a McDavid goal.
Whoa.
When it rains, it pours, guys. When it rains, it pours. So my official call is 1-0 Edmonton via shootouts. Okay. It's not going to happen like that, but it'll be. It does.
Can I also add a little personal commentary here?
Fire.
Corey Perry, legend.
Supposedly that whole thing was debunked. Supposedly the whole thing was
it's pretty
debunked,
funny.
But
it's still pretty funny.
You know what I will say is Connor Bedard. It's the limelight of being a professional athlete, and it's amazing how one comment somewhere on Reddit, I think, is where this whole thing started, and how it can just spiral and stuff. And I guess on the light side of this, at some point you feel that there might be a statement coming out, and is Corey Perry or the Blackhawks or Bedard going to come out and say that, yes, this never happened. He never. Yeah, well, I'm not gonna say anything else. But
I know I had to try. I try to get you into this.
No, but on a serious side, like that just shows you like how crazy it must be being a professional athlete when something like this gets said, and then now these two got to talk about it. Like I'm sure that maybe they're laughing about it. I mean, like, do all 4 of them go out to dinner now and laugh at all? Like, what happens? Like on the serious side, like what happens when this type of weird poop comes up? It's just bizarre.
Well, we appreciate everyone tuning in. I had to get that out there.
It's fair. It's fair. It's good. We hit it the right way. We hit it the right way.
Yeah. It's newsworthy. You almost walked into something else there. We'll get out. That's enough of this show. Okay. That's it. Exactly. We appreciate everyone, especially our everydayers. Thank you so much for tuning in and putting up with these shenanigans each and every day. And don't forget, on Fridays, WTF. Saturday mornings on YouTube only at Lockdown Golden Knights, the Chris and Chris show with the Golick family.
Yes.
So, are you going to do a show around the Christmas tree, or what's up? Like,
Oh, that'd be interesting. We'll see.
yeah, it'd be
We'll see.
kind of festive.
Chris digs being in his little off because he's got a desk in his room and he digs having the background. And the best part about the Chris and Chris show is he's got his coffee mug drinking just randomly. We'll be talking and he just
Chip off the old block.
Oh,
we'll
great.
see you
It's so
tomorrow
funny.
with a recap of tonight's VGK Edmonton game. Will they get out of the funk? It's not a funk. It's not a funk. Officially, in your estimation?
It's a scoring
Hey,
drought. It's a
a
scoring
funk.
drought.
It's a funk.
But
Okay.
it's close to a funk is fine. It's not a slump, though. It's not a slump.
All right. For my man Chris Golick, I'm Tony Cardasco from Las Vegas. We'll see you tomorrow right here on Locked On Golden Knights.